This month's podcast is all about sleep. Since having COVID, Bettina was finding it really difficult to stay asleep. She'd fall asleep and then within 20 minutes be waking back up, and found it really difficult to maintain a good sleep rhythm. So we have an online Shiatsu session together where I show her points and breathing and Qigong to help her sleep well and live a life of ease and pleasure. Hope you enjoy. If you do, you know what to do. Subscribe and follow along. Remember, you can ask me anything too. Just go along to the podcast page and enter in your question. So I just got some questions to ask you, and that will kind of guide us to what's your body and why you came for today. All right. So, Bettina, how old are you?
I am 79.
79. Okay. Have you had any children?
Yes, 2.
2 children. Okay. And do you have any broken bones?
No.
And have you had any operations?
Yes, ages ago, the womb was the wrong. The womb was rebalanced or something. Apparently, in my puberty, I had something out of balance, and that was rebalanced at the age of 18 or something, a long time ago. But otherwise, I didn't have any operations.
Okay, so you had an operation at 18
Yes,
to do with the
something
womb.
like around that time. Yeah, maybe even younger.
Okay, all right. And are you on any medications?
Blood pressure, just the lowest dose of blood pressure tablets, and no, otherwise nothing.
Okay. And how long have you been on those?
Good 4 years or so.
4 years.
Even though my blood pressure is better than it was before, it is not bad. So,
And what is your blood pressure roughly on average?
well, it can be 150, the high. I mean, if it's 140, 50 to 90 or something like that, which is high, they tell me.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But for me, that is mood related. I know that it has to do with my nervous system as well.
Okay. Okay. So you feel that that's more emotional rather than physical?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll address that. And tell me then, how is your sleep?
Yeah, that's why I initiated this question to you. I had COVID last August, and and I had never any sleep problems. But after that, a few weeks after that, I began to not sleep anymore, or only fell asleep but woke up very quickly afterwards.
Okay.
Or yeah, whatever. And that has been going on up to now and is vaguely still there. And I'm now in the health food shop. They gave me of late, only 2 weeks ago, magnesium for sleep at night, and that I find is helpful. That is helping me.
Okay. And would you
And
suffer?
still, I sometimes don't know. I wake a lot, and sometimes I don't know, have I slept or have I not slept. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
It's very strange.
Okay. And tell me, any regular time when you wake up? Or would it be intermittent? You couldn't really put a time to it. Is there a specific time where you wake up the same time every day, or would it be a different time?
My procedure now is I do yoga nidra when I try to go to sleep. So I take these magnesium thing half an hour before, then I do yoga nidra when in bed, and then I fall asleep, and I might wake up right after that and be awake again.
Okay. Wakes up very quickly. All right. And tell me, how was your menopause?
I didn't take hormone therapy. I think it was very moody. Now looking back, hearing many women at the time, women didn't talk about menopause, but now it's a big talk. Many people talk about it. And looking back, I realized my moods were fluctuating like crazy. I was a bit crazed at the
Okay.
time, so my moods
Okay.
were unbalanced.
So we were talking about your menopause, which was moody, and then I just asked you about your menstrual flow throughout your life. How was your menstrual flow? Was it any problems? Was it heavy? Did you bleed a lot?
Nothing. My rhythm was very irregulated before I got children, but it was very irregular. My monthly rhythm was irregular, but the period itself, and I was always a bit depressed around that time. But otherwise, there was nothing unusual. No, not not very strong or very weak. Just
Oh, okay, okay, okay. And how was it having your children?
yeah, that was well. My second child I had at home, and that brought with it complications, and I ended up in hospital at the very end, and I got what do you call that, this blood infection which women had 100 years ago. And
Septicemia?
but I thought that
Sepsis?
was psychological more. I found out later it was more a whole it was a whole psychological process more than an actual physical process.
Okay,
And
okay.
there was a big story connected to it. So anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was drawn to ask about the childbirth. I was
But
very
the
drawn to
childbirth,
ask.
the first child's birth was very normal. No, it was normal, but I think my psyche played havoc in the last minute. So
Okay, so you think you got a big shock or a fear?
no, I think I myself created problems which hadn't been necessary, but it was my belief system. It was the way I believe, what I believed I had to do and didn't do, and giving myself, blaming myself, and feeling guilty. And I mean, to somebody else outside, it would feel a bit crazy as to what happened, but but it was a whole story of my life that came to play with my son's birth, which was at home. But physically, there was actually nothing. I mean, he had the cord around his neck, and I had to press, and I didn't want to press. I wanted it to be safe and soft and beautiful. And then the midwife told me to press, and I didn't know what was happening, and I got confused. And later I blamed myself for what I had done, which had actually been the best thing I could have done. And so, yeah, basically,
Okay,
in a nutshell, that's the story.
okay. So the we'll see when we come back to that, but definitely around the heart, if we have a shock, the heart is paired with the small intestine. We always have a yin and a yang organ. The yang organ is the small intestine, the yin organ is the heart. So these two work together. And when we have a shock, the blood physically in Western medicine returns to the small intestine, really just around the belly button, so that if we have a problem, we don't bleed out. And this can sometimes lead to poor circulation following a shock. You know, we need to really kind of work with the circulation. And with insomnia, generally, insomnia tends to be a problem of the blood, of us not finding a home for the spirit in the blood and in the heart. It's a very poetic way of putting it. It wouldn't be a Western type, but we want to find a home for the heart. So
Mm.
sometimes this kind of idea of waking up when we've just gone to sleep is kind of like a little mini death. and almost the body is afraid to fall asleep, and it's kind of like, I'm asleep, oh, I'm afraid, you know. So this kind of shock, this fear can have ripples that kind of go out. And especially if you've had COVID, how did it go with the COVID? Were you, tell me about that.
I didn't, I just had a temperature, and I was extremely weak and very low energy, as everybody says. And I had that for a few days, and otherwise there wasn't even a cough, not a proper bad cough or anything. So that went very easily, but I think it interfered with my nervous. I have a feeling my nervous system is very volatile and is out of balance very, very easily. And I notice I'm becoming very aware of my nervous system since I have this stuff. I never noticed when things were too much for me, or when I should let go of them, or when I should not do them maybe later at night, or not listen to them, or whatever. And I'm getting very, very, I feel my heart beat, and I feel how I'm getting out of balance. I can really feel that now. So I've become aware of my nervous system with the help of COVID, I could say,
Yes, become
in a
very
way.
sensitive, perhaps.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And tell me your sleep routine then to go to sleep.
Well, yes. So I'm breathing, and my routine is I'm doing now the qigong movements. You sent me a little video of uh, doing these qigong movements beforehand. I'll do that for about 10 minutes. Then I go to bed. Then I breathe and look at my day past and so on. And then by now I put on yoga nidra because I find it very helpful. And with the yoga nidra, I always fall asleep. And very rarely I don't fall asleep. I fall asleep, but suddenly I'm awake again afterwards.
Okay.
And and then of late, because of these magnesium, I drift away again. And even if I go to the toilet, I can fall asleep again. But for a good while, I could be awake all night then and
Okay.
maybe sleep another 2 hours later, or something like
Okay.
that.
Let's have a look at that. So I just want to also have a look at your diet. What would you have for breakfast?
I have a muesli or porridge and fruit and grains and stuff, yeah. And lunch, I would only have a slice of bread or something small, and in the evening, we would eat around five-ish. We have our evening meal, and what is that? Vegetable and rice, and it's fairly simple. It's fairly basic, simple, not much meat. Where I rarely eat meat, maybe if at all once a week. And
Okay. Okay. And what is your preferred veg? What veg would you like to eat?
oh, beans.
You have a lot of beans?
I don't eat a lot of beans, but I would eat more beans if the weather was better, and if they were growing and all of this, and if they were fresh in the shop or something. I like beans, yeah.
Good.
But
Well,
would they be
as
my
beans go, I'm going to suggest that you go for mung beans. Mung beans are the small little green ones, and they're
the
really
green
good
one?
when you combine them with rice. And they'd be very, very good for the heart and helping with blood circulation. So the mung
Mm.
beans, MUNG, mung
I
beans.
know them. You make, yeah, I
So
know
have
them.
plenty of the mung beans and also plenty of the dark bitter greens. So always
But I
have.
mean by beans, fresh beans. When I say that's my favorite, it's the fresh beans, the green beans you get in summer.
Brilliant. Yes, those green beans are really full of silica as well. There are lots and lots of minerals, and they're actually really good for the heart. So eating
Mm.
plenty of those green beans and the flat, you mean the bobby beans, we call them kind of bobby beans, and also the
Yeah,
flat,
the long
long
ones.
green
Yeah,
beans.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
brilliant for the heart. Brilliant. And all of those kind of green foods would help to clear the liver, and the liver is the mother of the heart. So all the time what we're trying to do here is build a home for the heart, build a home for the spirit to come and settle in. All right, because it doesn't seem here that you've got too much going on, which I would say, how much water do you drink?
Yeah, I don't drink much. I don't like to drink. To be honest, I have to force myself to drink.
So how much water would you drink?
How much would I drink? Uh, mm, I mean, voluntarily, I would hardly drink at all. Uh, But because I force myself, I would drink half a liter or something like that.
And do you take herbal tea?
I take rooibos. I like of late rooibos tea in the morning. I don't know if you consider that a herbal tea. And
Depend. Yes. Do you
I
have it with
don't. I
milk?
like ginger and lemon, but I don't. I don't take to herbal teas very well. I I might have a decaffeinated, deteanated, or whatever, uh, a tea without caffeine during the day, a black tea, a normal black tea, and um, yeah, as I say, I drink little barley cup. I drink.
How many barley cups do you have?
I have one barley cup in the evening.
And do you drink coffee?
No, I do drink a cappuccino here and there, but it's not my favorite. It's not something I especially like.
Okay, so instantly what we're going to do is we want to work the kidneys and the heart. So the
Mm.
kidneys and the heart. You've talked about the nervous system. The nervous system, the kidney and bladder are the organs that are in charge of the nervous system. Think about where the kidneys are. They're either side of the spine, and they really manage the bones and the central nervous system. So
Okay.
what do the kidneys do? They are actually the filter for water. And so having plenty of water in your diet really is going to be good for the kidneys. But again, we want to find a balance, so not too much. But what I would really recommend for you to do is make some lettuce tea, take some green leaves of lettuce, and I want you to halve, if you have like a small head of lettuce, halve the lettuce and pour boiling water over that and simmer it for a couple of minutes, strain it, and I want you to drink that. And I want you to drink that in the early evening. It's a really good tea at helping the heart to settle. And I think including more herbal teas and more water into your diet is going to help support the kidneys and the nervous system, and as well help with circulation and calming the heart so that it's all good to sleep. Now, obviously, we don't want to drink too late at night because we don't want to be waking ourselves up to go to the toilet. But those are the two aspects. If you've got my book there, can you see the Good Food, Better Sex book here? You see
No. Yeah.
behind
Oh,
me?
there. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have my book, in both of my books and on my blogs, I share a recipe for barley water.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want you to do is make that barley water at the beginning of the week on a Sunday or a Saturday, and use about 2 or 3 liters of water to make the barley water. Strain it. You boil the barley in the water, strain it, and you drink that. And you drink a good cup of that, a big mug of that every day. And that will last you the whole week. And then you build, and then you make another one. If you've had COVID, it's really important to really strengthen the kidneys. They can be really become very weak. So we want to have plenty of fluids and the right type of fluids. So the teas that would be really good for you and good for the heart would be the lettuce tea, valerian tea, chamomile tea, and also green tea. But be careful with the green tea because that can actually bring you on, if you're very sensitive, it can give you kind of palpitations. So I would say kind of more soothing teas, soothing the spirit. So they would be chamomile, like I said, lettuce, and the valerian. The valerian is very bitter. So we're looking for those bitter foods for the heart. And like I said, the mung bean is a very bitter flavor in food. So we want good hydration. So taking the barley water and taking the teas. Include some more bitter green veg into your diet. Dandelion leaves. You could go out and pick dandelion leaves, nettles, spinach, chard, all those rainbow. The beans, which you already love, fantastic. And tell me, do you eat, I'm presuming not, but do you eat any, what would be your go-to? If I could give you anything on a plate or in a cup, what would be your favorite thing to eat or drink?
Oh, food. Oh my, you mean a meal, a proper meal, or one
Whatever
vegetable?
you like. If you imagine I'm your fairy godmother and you could close your eyes and I give you a wish of whatever is in front of you, you can have a whole meal, you can have one thing, you can have a drink. What is your heart calling you to?
I think I love roasted vegetables in whatever form, in roasted vegetables with tofu or chicken pieces and rice with that. I like that meal.
Okay, good. And what else in your life fills your heart with joy? What else do you do?
You mean generally, not food?
Yes, not necessarily food. That's a delicious meal you just described. I'll have one of those too. And but what else also in your life brings you great joy?
Cycling.
Hmm.
I love cycling, gardening, singing.
Singing, that's fantastic because the heart, all of the senses link to a specific organ in the body. So it's no surprise that you've picked the tongue and singing. That links to the heart. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really great that you get to practice singing. And do you practice singing every day?
No, 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 not every day, but I do go to a Georgian singing group now, and I yodel. I learned to yodel of late, and I tend when I'm well, I like to sing. Yeah, it's like a prayer. It's beautiful to sing
So what I'm
whenever
going
I
to
have
recommend,
to
what I
whenever
recommend
I
for
have to
you,
condition. Sorry, what did you say?
sorry, we're talking over each
Yeah.
other with the lag of the Zoom. I think it's brilliant. And I think that already is guiding you. So, what I want you to do, as well as your yoga nidra, before your yoga nidra, do some mantra. And that can be very, very simple. That can be humming. Hum. You can include an om if you like. Om. And that will help with the vagus nerve, which is either side of the neck. And it's going to really relax and prepare the body for sleep. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to really improve the heart and the kidneys because sometimes the kidneys are on kind of overdrive. And if you imagine that you've got a car and you've got the engine and you put the petrol and you keep over revving, you keep on putting too much petrol in it. There's nothing wrong with the engine. There's just too much petrol. And that's a little bit like the body. So we have this adrenaline, this kind of getting up and going, this kind of charge that we have. And that comes from the kidneys. And if it's too much, it doesn't allow the heart to settle and you keep waking up. So those two aspects together. So the vagus nerve, that humming, that singing, you can just do maybe 10 rounds of Om. You can set a timer. You can set it to 2 minutes and you can Om. Om. Coming deep from down in the belly. Om. Finishing vibrating through the nose and again big belly, and as you exhale send the belly button back to the spine, pushing the air out.
Would
Om.
you do that at night before sleep?
Yep. Do it maybe before your yoga nidra.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do it as if you're kind of, you clean your teeth and you do 2 minutes of mantra. You do
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes of humming, and it's really going to settle the nervous system so that you're not just listening, although that's fantastic because the ears are connected to the kidneys. So it's really great that you're kind of using your auric senses, your ability to hear, to calm the nervous system, but we're also going to use the tongue and we're going to hum. Okay, so we can do some humming. So just hum with me now. So just sit up, and we want a big belly. Exhale. One more time, big belly. Exhale. Feel the energy coming up your spine, right into your head, vibrating through the neck, and release. And already that kind of starts to reset and reshift your perspective, taking you inside rather than being at the beck and call of everything external and having all this stimulation. We're internally stimulating the organs and the whole kind of viscera of the body. Okay. Wow, we are whizzing through some stuff here. So it's really kind of, I really think we've got a few things there. The humming, the more water, the more herbal teas. And now let's see what acupressure points. So the way that this works is we're going to connect to heaven and earth. Okay, so is there any questions so far?
Yeah, I just want to, before we finish, I want to know again about the barley water. Barley, do you buy that as grains? Is that a grain you
Yes.
buy
So
in the health food shop?
yes, exactly. And you can buy whole grain barley or you can buy pearl barley. Pearl just means that it's had the outside layer just taken off. It's okay if you use either the pearl barley or the whole grain barley. And you take 2 handfuls
Mm-hmm.
and you put it into a big pot, and then you put at least 2 liters of water. At least you can put 3 in. You put a good fitting lid on, really good fitting lid, because you're going to bring it to the boil, and then you're going to let it simmer, and you're going to let it simmer really, really low for about 45 minutes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, after 45 minutes, you turn it off, you take the lid off, you strain out the barley from the barley water. So you'll have a big jug of barley water. Now, the sediment will fall in that barley water. So I find it really good to keep it in a big bottle in the fridge. And then when you take it out of the fridge, you give it a shake, the sediment all kind of mixes up, and you put it in a mug, and you put half the barley water and half boiling water. You can add some lemon juice, you could add honey, you can add whatever flavoring you like. I like the flavor, so I just drink the flavor. And then you drink a mug of that every day.
Right. And at what
Okay.
time? Anytime during the day.
Anytime, I would recommend drinking it in the morning and getting into a habit of having that with your breakfast. Well, 20 minutes after your breakfast. In Chinese medicine, you don't want to drink with your meal. You either drink before or after.
Okay.
Okay, so either 20 minutes before or 20 minutes after, so that the digestive process isn't kind of weakened by all the fluid.
So that's
Okay.
2 hands full on 2 liters of water, right?
Yeah, so it's nice and quite easy. You can add different things to it. You can add lemon, you can add cinnamon. Lots of people have lots of different recipes, but that's basically it. 2 handfuls of barley, 2 liters of water. Remember to put the lid on, otherwise you'll only have barley left. You can use that leftover barley in your veg and rice. I kind of find that the barley has a texture that's a little bit slippery that I don't like, so I add it to rice. And so you can eat it, you can add it to soups, you can add it to rice, you can put it in a stir fry. You know, the barley that's left over?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the other was the salad, the lettuce. You take half a lettuce and you simmer that in on the stove.
Yes, in a little saucepan. Just for
Yes,
3 minutes, just for 3 minutes. And then you
and
strain that and
you
you
drink the
put,
water.
and you drink the water. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. And it tastes a little bit like chamomile tea.
and how often would you do that?
I think you could do that every afternoon. That would be your afternoon. So you'd have barley water in the morning and you'd have lettuce tea in the afternoon. You're going to be drinking a little bit more. We're going to get you up to a liter. But you know, your diet that you have, you know, there's a bit of a mistake that people make. It's like everybody thinks that everybody should be drinking 2 liters of water a day. If you have a diet that's mainly vegetarian, you don't need to drink as much water. But you, I think, do need to drink a little bit more water than you're drinking right now. I think
Yeah,
you
I
need a
agree.
little bit more fluid than you are telling me, especially after COVID or any kind of cold or virus, you know,
Mm.
because the body is working very hard. And especially what you found was you had a temperature. So we want to kind of really replace all those kind of fluids. All right.
Okay.
And also I would recommend, you've got taking magnesium as a supplement. I also think you could buy some seaweed and incorporate seaweed into your diet.
As a supplement or by,
As a supplement, or you can just eat it. Do you have any health food shops there that sell seaweed? It's
I
quite
know, I
popular in Ireland.
yeah, I know. I know, I don't know. I have to ask. I don't think she has. They have,
Oh,
but
okay. Well, I what I can do is there's a wild Irish sea veg, and I'll share a link with you for that. And they come in little tubs, and they're sprinkles, and you just sprinkle it on your rice, you sprinkle it on your vegetables, and it just means you're getting all those minerals like magnesium, manganese. You get a lot of iodine. Um, they're very full in minerals, really great for calcium.
so that's pure dried, that is pure and dried seaweed. They have
Yes,
it. Yeah, I asked if they might have a thing. I
or I'll
asked.
send you a link and you can buy it online
Hmm.
and you can
Okay,
have it posted to you.
okay.
Yeah, so they come in little pots, or you can, yeah. So I think some more minerals, some more
Mm.
water, and some bitter flavored food to really help the heart. All right.
Okay. Hmm.
So let's have a look at doing some shiatsu. We have a little bit of time left, so let's have a look at doing some shiatsu. Now I'm going to get you and your body to guide me through. Okay, so I have some points in mind that I think would be great for your body, but let's see if your body has the same ideas as mine. Okay, so you're going to sit somewhere very comfortably and we're going to connect to heaven and earth, and then we're going to see where the body, I'm going to get you to guide me through the body in 3 sections. We can either go upper, middle, or lower. Lower would be below the belly button. Middle would be from the belly button to the center of the chest, across the line of the nipples, and upper, obviously, is what's left.
Hmm.
Okay? All right? So let's just connect in. So just holding the hands on the lower belly. You're just going to hold the hands just under the belly button, and we're going to shake. We're just going to shake into the sit bones. Just opening and loosening through the perineum, the sexual organs. Loosening through there. Now connect with the perineum, and I want you to draw that up through the center of the body, behind the belly button, up through behind the sternum, through the throat, and right up the top of the head, and feel that cord coming right up through the top of the head. Feel it pop out of the top of the head and go up, up, up. Feeling your whole body being pulled up by this cord coming out of the top of the head. Now take it up, up through the clouds, through the atmosphere. Pop it out of the atmosphere and into space. Connect it with the North Star. Use your imagination. Find the North Star at the end of the Big Dipper and find the North Star. Plug it in and draw down the energy. Draw down the energy through the top of the head, through the throat, behind the sternum, feeling the body, feeling the weight of the body. Feel it come behind the belly button, through the perineum, into the floor, and through the many layers of the earth. Deeper and deeper down, connecting with the center of the earth. So you can feel the 2 points, heaven and earth. Yin being the earth, yang being the sky. Draw those 2 points together and just bring them down to where your hands are, just below the belly button. We can just give a little rub, a little shake and connect with the lower belly. First of all, we're going to take the hands around and we're going to rub the kidneys. Rub the kidneys. Connect with the kidneys. Inhale, sweep the hands around to the lower belly. Rubbing the kidneys. Sweep them around down to the lower belly. Rub the kidneys. Sweep it around down to the lower belly. So this is really great for resetting the nervous system. Before you can release a virus, you must have the strength in the body to do that. And the kidneys give us that core strength. It's linked to our DNA, our ancestors, our willpower to drive us forwards. So feel your attention down the back of the spine, right down into the kidneys, and see if you can feel the kidneys expanding and relaxing. Rubbing the kidneys and sweeping the hands around to the lower belly. We're just going to find the belly button, and 2 fingers below the belly button, we're going to find that point, and we're just going to massage in circles, just 2 centimeters, 2 finger width below the belly button. See if you can relax all the way through the hips and the perineum. Resetting the nervous system. Being less blown and battered by all the things around us. Refocusing the gaze internally, right down below the belly button, becoming aware of the sexual organs all through the pelvis, and just cover that area now with the 2 hands. Taking a breath, fill that belly with all the chi of life. Inhale through the nose, right down, big belly, expand your belly like Father Christmas, and then exhale, send that point right back to the spine. Right back to the spine, and relax. The breath will naturally come down and fill that point. Exhale, sending the belly button back to the spine, and relax. Exhale, send the belly button right back to the spine, and relax. One more time. Exhaling, sending that point right back to the spine, and relax. And now just connecting with the rest of the body. Is there some area in the body, upper, middle, lower, that would be calling out to you? Don't forget about your shoulders, your arms, your hands, even your knees and your feet. If we would allow the body to talk, where would it want the hands to go? Maybe it's actually to themselves. So just connect in. What do you see in your mind's eye? Which part of the body is calling out for a little bit of touch?
Maybe the upper, the upper dantian.
The upper. Okay, so we're going to start here. So we're just going to rub the area on between the collarbone and the nipples. Just rubbing that whole area here, that whole intercostal area. So taking your fingers right next to your sternum and the grooves in between the muscle, grooves in between the ribs, we're going to massage and come out to the side. Massaging through the intercostal spaces. It doesn't have to be with a lot of force. You can imagine that the energy is coming down from above and up from below so that you don't have to bring the force. You can direct the energy. The bigger force, the bigger chi, the universal energy through these points. Now, either side of the sternum, what we're going to do is, this is the kidney meridian. So this is really good. It's kind of, the kidney is related to the water. So especially if we're trying to balance this fire and water around that heart, chest area, massaging into these kidney points will help to balance the fire and the water. So I have my fingers either side of the sternum. My mic is in the way. Let me just move that to here. So my fingers come in line with the nipples, maybe, would be, could be, should be. And we're going to come either side of the sternum and we're going to massage into the spaces in between the ribs. Do you feel them sore? How do they feel?
They're not sore, no. It's good to do that.
And down again, either side of the sternum. So I'm really using my fingers, connect, press, hold, tap. There's many things that we can do. We're going to make a line. I feel like tapping. I feel like tapping. And we're going to come to kidney 27. So find the knobbly bits of the collarbone and then just fall off in a diagonal line and you'll find a kind of divot. You'll find some space there. So again, find the collarbone, the knobbly parts of the collarbone, fall off diagonally and press. Massage, press, hold, and release. Kidney 27. Really helping to rebalance and reflow the yin and the yang. Bladder channel coming up over the head, right down the back of the hamstring, right down to the ankle. Kidney 1 picking it up underneath the soles of the feet, coming up the inside of the body right to here. So we have this big yin and yang channel. So kidney 27. This is a really great point if you're feeling burnt out. If you're feeling really exhausted, kidney 27, and do it consistently. So do it every day. Connect with the point, so we're not just pressing a button. We understand that we are connecting with our own energy source. Like I described it, that car. So we're just not letting the car over rev. And then we're going to come down and we're going to do, when I move my mic, We're going to come down from 27 and we're going to do CV17, conception vessel 17. So again, where the nipples could be, should be, would be where we come over into the middle on the breastbone, and you'll find a divot here. Can you feel kind of like a hollow on the breastbone, in the center of the breastbone now? We're not either side, we're in the center.
Yes.
Yeah? So we're going to press, hold, release, press, hold, and release. All the while, breathing down, right down low. Breathing down into that kidney point, the CV6 point underneath the belly button. You can hold that again, holding underneath the belly button. And pressing into CV6, CV17. So we're connecting CV6, which is underneath the belly button, with CV17. Breathing nice breaths. And sweep down from that CV17 point in the center of the chest. Inhaling and down we go to the lower belly. And actually, you okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Tap again, maybe that's releasing something. Yeah, we let it tap. Feeling that cough. And sweep down from kidney 27, sweep down over CV17 and down to the lower belly. Yeah, good. Sweep down, down again. All the time, feeling the kidneys. And that cough is just reminding me of the breath. And it's said that the kidneys grasp the chi with the breath. The kidneys grasp the chi. The lung is the mother of the kidneys. So we take it the kidney point, over the CV17 point, and down to CV6, just below the belly button. Let's do that one more time. And down below the belly button. Let's take a few breaths here. Just check into your kidneys. How does the body feel? Can you tell me how the body feels, Bettina?
Very, very relaxed. Completely relaxed.
Good. Okay. So that's an easy routine for you to also do before bed. And I would say you can also do that at any time of day. I am very drawn to your hands. I'm very drawn to your hands. So I'm going to show you a couple of points on your hands. I'm going to move closer. Okay. Do your hands get stiff at all? They look quite flexible.
They do. Sometimes this finger gets stuck and I can't get it up again.
Okay, so what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a little bit of shaking and shake down. And we're going to pulse. And what I want you to do as you pulse is really connect in with that CV17 point here. Imagine it coming over the breast and down the inside of the arm, finishing right at the tip of the middle finger. So as we pulse, we're going to activate, we're going to connect the tip of the middle finger with the center of the palm. This is the Lao Gong point. Okay, it's called the Palace of Weariness. So if we want to ignite the heart to feel the joy and feel the beauty of life, this is a really great one. So just pressing into that. It will also have an effect with that point in the center of the chest. So this is a really good one to do if you feel like you've got overwhelmed or anxious, or you've got too much adrenaline going through the body. Tapping the CV17 and then pulsing through the hands. And you can alternate. You can come back to CV17 and alternate. And then I want you to take your thumb and your index finger and sweep around your wrist. Other side. Just taking your thumb and sweeping around your wrist. Here what I'm doing is I'm activating the two source point. Well, I'm activating lung 9, which is a source point, which is underneath the thumb on the inside. But also what I'm doing is activating heart 7. And heart 7 is a classic sleep point. Okay, this is the sleep point in acupuncture and acupressure, but it's not a magic button. We have to really kind of connect with it. So that's why I would say doing these points first, really taking your attention inside and then warming up the hands, and then finding heart 7. And how to find heart 7 is draw a line from the inside of the little finger to the crease of the wrist, and you'll find two tendons, and you're in between the two tendons. Now I'm not on the outside, that would be small intestine, that would be small intestine 5. I'm heart 7. Heart 7, draw the line again and in between the two tendons. Okay, let me see where you have. Can I see the inside? It looks like you're a little bit over to the middle. So see if you can come right to the outside. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Now just relax. Inhale. Exhale. Focus the energy into the point, and at the same time take your attention to your kidneys. And feel your thumb expand and your whole energy expand into that point. Inhaling and exhaling. So we want to imagine that the energy is going into that point in quite a focused way, and then we relax our focus, take our attention to the spine and the kidneys, and feel the whole point begin to expand with energy. Feel it like it's almost kind of melting. How does that point feel for you, Bettina?
Good. Yeah.
Does it feel empty or solid? Does it feel cold or hot?
No, it feels good. Neither cold, no hollow, no empty. Feels friendly.
So let's go on the other side. So heart 7, the classic sleep point. On the inside of the little finger, draw down. Find the crease of the wrist. In between the two tendons, so I'm not to the outside, I'm definitely between the two tendons on the crease of the wrist. And inhale, exhale, feel the energy going into that point, focus it in, imagine it's coming out of the tip of your thumb and into that point. We're going to exercise our imagination, focus the energy into there, and now take your attention to your spine, your kidneys, the back of your skull, and feel the energy still flowing but really expansive and relaxed. Feel the point melting Feel that melting. If the point feels really empty when you press it, then draw the energy to it. But if it feels really stuck or solid, focus the energy to melt the point. So it's important to connect in with how you feel and just asking the body what it needs. And remember, this energy can be drawn down from the sky and the earth and focused through your thumb into the point. And this isn't a religion, you don't have to believe this. It's more an exercise and a play for the mind with these other things in life that we can't always see, that aren't quite so tangible or explainable. So focusing your energy into that point, feel it expand, and see if you can feel the center of your chest also melting and relaxing. The center of your chest melting and relaxing as you press that point. And massage the crease of the wrist on both hands. Give them a little shake. And sweep down, down to that CV6 point just below the belly button. Take a few breaths together. We're going to unhook from the center of the earth and uncoil and coil that energy cord back into just behind and below the belly button. Unhook from the North Star, draw the energy down through the top of the head, through the throat, behind the sternum, behind the belly button. And very gently, very slowly, just opening the eyes, coming back into the room. Move back a little bit.
That's very relaxing, very good.
Good, so those are the points, and that's the routine that I think will really be good for you. So the kidney, starting with the points, this CV6 point just below the belly button, connecting that to the Mingmen point on the spine. So we inhale, and when we squeeze back, we stimulate that Mingmen point in the middle of the spine, starting there. And then we began to go around the sternum, kidney 27, CV17, back down to the belly, and then the routine on the hands. So you've got quite a lot of homework there, Bettina.
I remember all of this.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a Qigong, hold the moon, reach for the stars. So if you do wake up in the middle of the night, then I'm going to send you a Qigong routine as well. So if you find yourself tossing and turning at night and you are just lying there, there's a couple of things that I would do. If you're awake for more than 20 minutes, then get up and practice Qigong. If you can, and if it's warm enough, go out into the garden and do a few of the moves. I'm going to show you, at the end of this video, I'm going to attach hold the moon, reach for the stars. Really, really great. Okay. And the other thing that I personally do, if I wake up and I have a bout of insomnia, which at 56, going through the menopause, it's quite common. I get hot flushes, they wake me up, and then I might be awake for a while. What I do is I imagine I'm in a park, and all the people who are also suffering with insomnia are also in that park. and I'm just hanging out with them, and we're just kind of lying together, and we're having a nice afternoon, we're having a nice evening, because I think part of what happens with insomnia is you feel quite alone and quite isolated, and then that compounds that feeling of not being able to sleep. So I relax, and I just imagine all the other women in Chi Flow. That's where I start, because I see everybody on Chi Flow. I imagine all the other women, and I know there are other people just like me who are not able to sleep. So I just imagine I'm in a big park with everybody who can't sleep. And in that way, you don't feel so isolated and alone. And it's that takes the edge, that takes that sharp edgeness, especially if you're sleeping next to somebody who's fast asleep. Yes. And you're lying there and you're wide awake and you're like, why can I not sleep? So that's a good little mind trick.
There's a beautiful poem about people who gather at night. I might send you that when I find it.
Beautiful. I'd love that. Yeah, do that. And I'll share that in the Chi Flow group. So Bettina, I think our session is come to a close. You have a lot of homework there.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Joanne, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. It's so lovely to meet one-to-one.
Yes, it is. I feel very relaxed. Thank you so much.
And the thing is, you have to do it. You have to practice.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
All the best.
Lots of chi and lots of love. Take it easy.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Good evening. Now here's a routine for sleep I'm going to teach you. So you can do all of these three together, or you can do them separately, whatever you choose to do. The first one is embrace the mountain. Now this regulates heart and spleen, but it also opens the heart and the lung channels. So I'll just demonstrate first. Nice and simple. So you can see as I come forwards, I am up. This is called embrace the mountain. I'm slightly forwards on the front of my toes, opening to the full extension, breathing in, breathing out, coming back on the heels and down. Breathing in, slightly forwards, really feeling into kidney 1. Breathing out, just shifting the weight to the back heels. I'm not feeling like I'm falling over. I'm just changing my weight. Breathing in, gathering the earth, opening the heart and lungs right to the thumb and the little finger. Breathing out, gather, return to mountain. Breathing in, embrace the mountain. Breathing out, return to mountain. Let's practice. Calibrate your position so that your chin is slightly into chest. And you're slightly changing, shifting the weight backwards and forwards. Breathing in, shifting the weight forwards. Breathing out, shifting the weight back. And just coming to holding 2 bags of rice down at the lower dantian. Obviously, before you begin any Qigong move, you want to calibrate. Feeling into kidney 1, loosening through the knees, elongating through the spine, chin into chest, connecting to heaven and earth. Now the next move we're going to do is hold the moon and reach for the stars. So I'll demonstrate first. So a nice, easy set. Breathing in. As we breathe in, the hand comes up. It rotates it around the chest. And we come up and we hold the moon, still breathing in. And we hold the breath here slightly. And then we release, rotating the hands. The palm is facing down. We reach for the stars, opening up. I'm not overstretching. I'm releasing through the sides of the body. Breathing in. Come back to hold the moon. Slightly take a pause. Hold the breath. And release back down. Now be careful that your shoulders don't end up coming up by your ears. Okay, drop your shoulders. And again, breathing in, up through the midline. Rotate the palm. Hold the breath slightly, hold the moon. Rotate the palm, breathing out, reach for the stars. Breathing in, hold the moon. And breathing out, release. Just going at your own pace of your own breath. Breathing in, hold the moon. Reach for the stars. Hold the moon. And release. So really connecting with the heavens and the stars. Imagining the night sky, holding the moon. Reach for the stars. And release. Oh, no, back, holding the moon. And release. So it's almost like box breathing. Breathing in. Rotating the arms, if you remember that from Jenny Cruz's talk. Reach for the stars, breathing out. Breathing in. Hold the moon. Slightly hold the breath, take a pause. And release. Breathing in, up the midline of the body, rotate the palm. Hold the moon. Reach for the stars, breathing out. Breathing in, hold the moon. And release. Let's have some silent practice. Standing in Wuji position, checking you're open, calibrate your position, chin is into chest. And have a sweet dream.